Are you ready to be a landlord? Let's ask the right questions. Okay, so you're thinking about starting your investment journey, whether it's house hacking, buying strip investments, and that could be here in the Los Angeles area or even out of state. I've done all three of those. I own rentals here in LA, I'm house hacking, and I own investment properties out of state. So the question is, are you ready to be a landlord? What are some things to think about? Well, one, you need to think about what kind of landlord you want to be in terms of what is your buy box? What is your goal? Is your goal house hacking? Is your goal renting by the room? Is your goal Airbnb, like short-term rentals or traditional rentals? Whatever the case may be, you need to decide what kind of landlord do you want to be, and can you build a business around it? Because it takes time. This is a job, contrary to popular belief by many people. This is a second job, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. The second thing to think about is, are you willing to take on the risks? So there's always a risk of a tenant not paying rent, a tenant tripping and falling and decides to sue. Just like any business, there's always some level of liability, and you just need to be prepared for it. Good news is you will have insurance, you can do a good job vetting for tenants, but you have to be prepared for that. The next thing you have to think about is where you want to be a landlord in respects to the laws. So for example, everybody knows California is more tenant friendly. That's bad for landlords, but it also can be good because it's those types of regulations that keeps inventory down, thus rents really high. So if you're willing to play ball with rent control, understanding how much you can raise rents, when you can and can't evict, what do relocation fees look like, if you're prepared and have a basic understanding of all of this, then you should for sure jump into it. And then the third is, what are your long-term goals, and how passive versus active as a landlord do you want to be? So most of my clients self-manage. However, as they start to build their portfolio, they need to start delegating. Are you okay with a property manager? Does that work with your numbers, right? For your cash flow, typically property managers will charge anywhere from, let's call it 6 to 10% of the gross rents. In lower end markets, like lower price point markets, they tend to charge flat fees, like the Birmingham, Alabamas of the world, things like that. And they do charge typically an extra fee on top of it. So if they want to find a tenant, if they have to manage construction, they'll charge usually 10% on top of whatever the plumber charges, electrician charges, things like that. Every property manager is different. But you need to decide, if I'm ready to be a landlord, what does that look like? Do I want to delegate it out? Do I want to self-manage? What does this world look like? Because in some ways it's a lifestyle, right? A tenant could call you middle of the day when you're at work and say, my toilet's not working, and you need to stop what you're doing to call a plumber to send someone out there. So these are things you have to think about. Love to get your thoughts. What made you want to become a landlord, or what made you not want to become a landlord? Go ahead and comment below, and of course, don't forget to follow me on all the social media channels, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and you guys have a great rest of your week.